Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the absolutely completely random podcast for Saturday, October 14th, 2017. It is officially no longer Friday the 13th, though it has been Friday the 13th now for a few hours, so that's a good thing. As your host for this week, let me walk you through some topics that I discovered while traipsing through the internet during the week. Japanese Twitter users are shocked to learn that My Neighbor Totoro has a sequel. Oh, yes. Nintendo wants to stop an unlicensed real-world Mario Kart. They got some balls, huh? I'm going to be discussing Dragon Ball Super's 1 hour special that aired last week, and it did not disappoint. I have an update for my How Did My Week Go from last week topic. Ooh, is it an update? Facebook and Instagram were down for some users earlier this week. Yep, that's true. Me too, apparently. Mark Ruffalo accidentally pulled a Hulk-sized mistake of the century by live streaming part of the Thor Ragnarok premiere. Ouch! Remember the Megabots thing? Well, guess what? They're getting ready to duke it out this coming Tuesday. And oh god, is it going to be good. Thor Ragnarok director to cast Asian actors in the live-action Akira if he gets chosen to be its director. I have some thoughts on that. And Japanese fans are discussing the pros and cons of having otaku or otaku parents. I could see some bad things in that. But anyway, let's dispense with the necessities right off the bat. You know the drill by now. If you're looking for oddities, weird stuff, collectibles, what have you, aroads-2012 on eBay. Come check me out. You can also follow me on Twitter at Otaku Roads. So, let's start off with that update, because I can actually pen that in from how last week went into this week. Remember last week I talked about it'd be really neat if I could get a game that was coming out for the tablets, or I saw in the Play Store, called Digimon Links. Lo and behold, last week, after I finished recording the podcast, I go into the Play Store just to see if there's anything new there, like really cheap, and see if I have like any updates that need to be put on my tablet. Mostly just the updates, but I have to go to the Play Store's homepage to get into the update section. And surprise, surprise, sitting there in the number one top free section of the homepage, Digimon Links. I'm not joking. And it was just amazing that happened to me. I was like, holy crap, I just literally got done talking about this. I downloaded it Sunday morning. I have been playing it in combination with other games I've been playing during the week. This is one of those games you can do like a couple missions or a couple things, and then you've used up all your energy for a while. So it's really one of those, once you use up the energy, you're done for a while sort of deals. But it's not too bad. I enjoy it. I've already got one mega level. I'm working towards getting a second one. And I've only been playing this for less than a week. So it's actually pretty cool. But then again, I'm kind of falling under a weird section. I mean, I got an ultimate as a prize. Then I got two other ultimates as a prize. So I got a War Greymon already. I have a Rise Greymon as an ultimate yet. I have Grap Leomon that I'm trying to make into a Saber Leomon. So I have a long way to go yet on this game. I'm only like at number, I want to say, like mission number 12. So I got a while yet, and a lot more fun in this. There's daily quests, advent quests. They have one going on right now. It's to get Metal Edamon, which was never really one of my favorites, but I need the components that come along with him to get my Saber Leomon. And something for the anniversary, Advent Beginnings, where you can get some of the other megas from the other Digi-Destined originals. But that was how most of my week went. Other than that, my internet is officially fixed. It's a miracle. We got the phone call on Tuesday informing us that the internet connection issue has been resolved. The internet issue has been fixed. And I have to admit, it has been, because I finally got around to watching that Super Mansion Drag Me to Halloween special today. And you could only watch that on Crackle, and I was watching it on the Roku, on the Crackle app on the Roku, and all of a sudden it's like, holy crap. It dawned on me literally as the episodes ended already, and I'm getting ready to put the TuneIn app on for my grandfather, it dawns on me, this didn't buffer. This didn't give me any issues while playing this. I'm like, holy crap, I think the problem is fixed. So I had that, but otherwise the week was pretty entertaining. It was the first week without my coworker that I worked with for an entire year. It was kind of sad. We got a new person, and yeah, it's same old shit, different day, basically. I still play my other games, although I'm having an issue with Contest of Champions, and it's not one that I have to complain about to, like, kabam or anything. It's an issue involving my alliance because we don't have enough people that want to help out with certain things, and the ones that are doing it, myself and 2 others, are always the ones doing it, and it's starting to get a little annoying because we're not able to finish it a lot, and yeah, so. But other than that, this week's been kind of interesting. So, that's pretty much all I got for this week, for how my week was. I still have a bit of a cold, but not as bad as last week, though I have to admit, and I'm never doing this again, with the whole put a cough drop in my Dr. Pepper. Blech. That was nasty. It tasted like I was drinking Robitussin. Blech. Never liked that as a child, and blech. That's a taste that will haunt you to your dying day. But anyway, that's how my week's been. Like I said, pretty much uneventful. It's one thing after another. I did befriend one of my fans in Puzzles and Dragons. I am having a lot of fun, though, with that, too. They got a really neat event going on right now with the PAL points that you can get Evo material. And I actually got a knight. That's, in my opinion, it's better as a monster to use in battle than it is as an Evo material. And I like it. I'm having a blast with it. But there's that. But like I said, it's pretty much been an uneventful week. Another day, you know, it's like I said, same shit, different day. But otherwise than that, nothing really exciting's happened this week. But I found some topics, so let's get into the podcast and let's start off on what I found during the week that I want to talk about here on the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. Okay, so if you know Hayao Miyazaki movies, then you have to know that there is a huge fan base for a lot of them. I mean, my personal favorite's Kiki's Delivery Service. I did like Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea. That's another one of my favorites. I could stand Arrietty to a point. Wasn't a fan of it. I bought it and I sold it. I was not a fan of it. But I could stand it. And there are a few other ones that I enjoy that I don't have, like Spirited Away, which I'm still looking for. It's not a difficult thing, like I can't just find it on eBay or something. It's a matter of I can't get it for a decent price. Everybody wants to sell it for like $70, $80, and I don't want to pay. I'm never paying that much for a damn movie that I can easily probably find clips of it on YouTube or a whole thing on YouTube or a freaking legit streaming site and just watch it there for free. But anyway, Japanese Twitter user at 33Kitta, Kitta, by the way, recently posted some screen caps from a 2003 film, May and the Kitten Bus, commenting about how hardly anyone seems to have heard of it, and he followed up with a poll to which 88% of 102,000 respondents responded that they had no clue of its existence. First off, you got 88% out of 102,000 respondents. Last time I did a poll, I got one person that replied to it, and that was about, do you like my podcast? Have you heard of it? Now I got one reply. Some of the ensuing comments were, haha, dude, what? I had no idea. This is the first I've ever heard of it. Is this another urban legend like how May is supposed to be dead at the end of Totoro? There's a baby cat bus. How come you got to see it? I want to see it too. Now, we all know Studio Ghibli. Yes, the wonderful Studio Ghibli. Pretty much Hayao Miyazaki's cradle for whatever he wants to come up with when he wants to come out of retirement. The man retires more than I change underwear, but still. Studio Ghibli normally eschews the practice of sequels. They hate them. And rightly so, first off. You never want to make a sequel to something that was a hit. They're perfect for one-hit wonders. Oh, no. We came up with this? Okay, that's fine. We're going to come up with this now. We were a one-hit wonder with that. That series is done. That series was a one-hit wonder. We're going for another series now. So they're good with that. So the choice to revisit the cast of My Neighbor Totoro would presumably make the film stick out like a sore thumb. Yeah, big time. But what's more is that May and the Kitten Bus was written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki himself. And animation buffs have practically been flipping that have his filmography memorized. I mean, believe it or not, Wikipedia barely even scratches the surface of this. Because there are people that if you type in on a Twitter search or a Google search, some of the stuff that you can find on there for his filmography isn't even included in the Wikipedia article. Hint, hint, Wikipedia. So how did this release go unnoticed for nearly 15 years? Well, it's actually pretty simple of an answer. You see, May and the Kitten Bus is a 14-minute short that was shown exclusively at the Ghibli Museum. I actually think I talked about this in a previous podcast, but I'm not 100% sure. I might have, because I remember constantly talking about the Ghibli Museum and how about Burrow the Caterpillar was going to be one of the main movies along with other things. And I think May and the Kitten Bus was one of them on that list. I'd have to double check. The movie is constantly in a rotating schedule with 9 other Studio Ghibli short films. Each film runs for about a month at a time, so if you don't make it to the museum within that window, you probably won't have another chance to see it for almost a year. Unless there's some sort of a smartass that up and records it on their phone and pops it up on YouTube or Dailymotion or puts it up on a blog. So there are ways for people outside the U.S. and outside of Japan, especially outside of Tokyo, to see this. It's not like, oh, we have a lock and key on this. It will leak out. This is the era of technology. You have smartphones. You have cameras like the size of the tip of a pen now. There is no way that you cannot have somebody recording this if it's a once-in-a-lifetime or it's only going to be around for once a year. Someone's going to find a way to record this, I guarantee you. But, yeah, so it's at the Studio Ghibli, at the Ghibli Museum in Tokyo. It rotates with 9 other films. But guess what? If you didn't get a chance to see it yet, and you're planning a trip over to Tokyo within, I want to say, the next month, from November 1st to the 30th of this year, it is scheduled to run. So if you live in Japan or plan to travel there, you have your chance. Buying a ticket to the museum automatically grants you admittance into its theater. But seating is first come, first served. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. So if you're determined to catch the film, it's a good idea to make the theater your first stop. You know, for when you go over to Tokyo, there's hundreds and thousands of other things to see. Your first stop's got to be the Ghibli Museum to see May and the Kitten Bus. Don't get me wrong, My Neighbor Totoro was a good movie. I will admit that. As far as, do I want to say it was the best movie that ever came out of Studio Ghibli? Oh, God, no. It was entertaining, invigorating, extremely beautifully drawn and designed. I've seen better since then. Plus the fact that the urban legend going around that both the girls were dead in the movie and that their spirits were just harboring with Totoro really doesn't help. It makes it a little more creepy. If you don't know what I mean, there's an entire YouTube channel dedicated to Hayao Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli urban legends. I did subscribe to it for the longest time. I unsubscribed from it because they started getting really creepy, so I do not remember the name of it anymore. In fact, I think they might have even changed it shortly before I even unsubscribed from it. But if not, there's like hundreds of videos on YouTube, hundreds of sites online. You can Google search it. You will find stuff that will give you nightmares for centuries to come. But as far as this being a sequel, from what I've seen of it, yeah, I would say it's either a sequel or a prequel. I would go with probably a prequel more than a sequel. Because keep in mind, it's only 14 minutes. The original movie was at least 90 minutes long at best. If memory serves. Yeah. About 90 minutes, give or take. About an hour and a half. So, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad movie. Like I said, it's good. But I haven't seen May and the Kitten Bus, so I have no idea about that. I'm going with My Neighbor Totoro. So, if you get a chance to check this out, if you're going to go to Tokyo, check it out. If you want to go to Tokyo but don't want to, but are not able, I shouldn't say you don't want to, I mean you might want to go see it. If you're not able to beat the hordes of people that are going to go there to see it, don't worry about it. I guarantee you some nerd, some Japanese nerd, will record this somehow and pop it up online. I guarantee it. I mean, we live in the era of technology. It's not exactly something impossible. Hell, the last movie I went to go see in the theater, I saw at least 3 camera phones out recording the damn thing. So it's not entirely unheard of. But still, yeah, it's going to be, like I said, November 1st to the 30th of this year. So if you get a chance, go check it out. If you go over to Japan or go over to Tokyo and you can't see it, might I recommend checking out some of the other sites in Tokyo? Because it costs you probably at least $88 to get there. If you're going by plane, at least $88 depending on where you go. I keep seeing ads for $88 trips to Tokyo. Seriously, check out some of the other sites. There's an entire plethora of stuff to see in Tokyo. But, yep, that's all I got for that. Would kind of be neat, though, if it is a sequel, but I'm not sure. I mean, you did see the Kitten Bus, and you did see the girl, and they do kind of seem familiar to the characters from the original, but I can't really say if it's a sequel or not. I personally think it's more of a prequel, but that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. Mario Kart. One of the funnest games that I think Nintendo has ever come out with. Racing with Mario characters. But what happens when fantasy mixes with reality? Well, if you're Nintendo, you get ready to slap some cease and desist orders on this stuff. So, here's what happened. Nintendo has its own Universal Studios theme park on the way. Yes. So why would they let a whole bunch of imposters take to the streets of Tokyo with real-world Mario Kart services? Well, the MariCar Shinagawa has been doing this for a little while, giving people outside a chance to scoot around on a go-kart tour of Tokyo dressed as their favorite pop culture characters. Look, there's another thing you can do in Tokyo. At least until Nintendo shuts this the hell down. Due to similarities between the service karts and the characters of the original Mario Kart, Nintendo wants them to stop. While MariCar says they previously reached out to their own legal experts and Nintendo to make sure they weren't infringing. Oh, that's a burn, Nintendo. Nintendo says this business is being run without their express permission. Oh, yeah, like that stopped anything before. Hi, we're going to create a whole bunch of ROMs for a game. You're doing this without Nintendo's permission. We're going to hack a Nintendo 64. You're doing this without Nintendo's permission. We're going to make a Mario Calf. This is a cease and desist order. You're doing this without our permission. Everybody screws Nintendo, and then Nintendo goes and screws them back. What the hell? Seriously? As of right now, MariCar is still up and running, but they're trying and attempting to rebrand their service as a simple costumed go-kart rides through Tokyo. They added this to further distance themselves from the Mario Kart brand. Oh yeah, because God forbid, if they have themselves called Mario Kart, Nintendo's going to come after them with a Mario-based lawyer. I'm guessing that'd be King Koopa. That'd be funny. Yeah, Bowser come out somewhere with a cease and desist order in a briefcase. That'd be funny. MariCar is in no way a reflection of the game Mario Kart. Therefore, when riding the go-karts, none of the following will be allowed. No racing each other on the streets. Do not throw banana peels or any other garbage onto the streets. Do not throw red turtle shells or any other object to each other. And MariCar, yeah, so basically that's pretty cool. MariCar is a very exciting, once-in-a-lifetime experience tour you can enjoy in the streets of Japan. This is actually something I think they should do in other parts of the country. In Japan, not just in Tokyo. But on top of that, this is something they should do in, like, California, New York. Well, yeah, New York. This would be interesting to have in New York. The city with the biggest traffic jam in the entire world next to the 405 in California. This is what they should have in New York. Freaking go-kart rides through the street. But I enjoy the whole, it's not based on Mario Kart. So you cannot do any of the following. You cannot race each other. Well, that's a no-brainer. The cops will pull you over. Do not throw banana peels or any other garbage into the streets. No shit, that's littering. Do not throw red turtle shells or any other object to each other. Well, if they have red turtle shells, first off, I think any government official will bust their ass for an endangered species being wiped off the face of the earth. So basically, do not throw anything at each other. Perfect. You have it spelled out, the 3 main rules. The 3 rules of MariCar. Do not race, do not throw garbage, and do not throw garbage in the streets, and do not throw stuff at each other. You are not here to race one another through the streets of Tokyo. We are not pulling this crap. That's fine. So what's Nintendo's problem with this? Because it just has the Mario Kart similarities? Well, then by that means they should shut down any and all racing games. How about that Little Big Planet Racing that came out years ago? How come Nintendo didn't want a piece of that? That had similarities to Mario Kart. Or how about all those other little go-karting games? That might have had similarities to Mario Kart. How about that commercial for Blur that came out years ago with the racing guys in the kiddie style? That had Mario Kart themes. That had mushroom people. How come they didn't go after that? I think this is Nintendo trying to flex their muscles and go, we are Nintendo. Like, the Borg from Star Trek. We are the Borg, prepare to be assimilated. I think this is Nintendo flexing their muscles going, we are Nintendo. You will bow down before us. And it's just not going to pan out the way they're hoping it will. But I don't know what's going to happen. Personally, this sounds pretty cool. I will admit that. Probably costs an arm and a leg, though, I would imagine. And you probably have to be a certain height, size, and everything else. Because I know go-karts are not that big. But still, this does sound pretty neat and pretty interesting. So I hope Nintendo doesn't shut them down completely. I kind of hope that they're able to at least rebrand this. I mean, how about go for an anime style thing? People can dress as Goku or as Luffy. Doraemon. That'd be pretty cool, seeing somebody dressed as Doraemon driving through the streets of Tokyo on a go-kart. Maybe you guys could actually have some racing like this for the Olympics when they come to Tokyo in 2020. That would be pretty cool. Mario Kart style racing at the Olympics. That'll never happen. But it would still be kind of cool. I mean, somewhat. I don't know. I think it would be. The Absolutely Completely Random podcast is brought to you by electricity. Because without it, I wouldn't be able to record anything on my laptop because my battery requires it in order to run and it needs electricity to recharge. Yeah, I know. But I can't get a water wheel in my room. Alright, let's talk about the 1-hour Dragon Ball Super episode combination, the special that aired last week. It did not disappoint. I want to say that first off. The entire climax of the battle, I should say the episode before leading up to it, was that Goku was finally going to take on Jiren. And it happened. And oh, did it happen in spades. Goku got his ass whooped. He got schooled by Jiren in both normal, Super Saiyan 2. He did not go Super Saiyan 3. Got schooled in Super Saiyan God and was barely able to hold his own in Super Saiyan Blue. So, it's simple to say Goku got owned. His final attack at the end of episode 109, he launched the Spirit Bomb, or the Gekidama, for those of you who listen to me in Japan. He launched the Gekidama, and it looked like it was going to work until Jiren just pushes it back with nothing. It's like, yeah, this is pathetic. It just pushes it back. Goku tries everything he's got to shove it back down onto him, going Super Saiyan Blue to, give it more oomph, going times 20 Kaioken, to nail it down. And I did say Kaioken, not Kaioken. It is Kai, because it's named after King Kai. It's a common misconception among fans. You could think the Ocean Dub for screwing it up. But he does that to try to get it back down. Jiren just uses his second hand, just pushes it back at Goku. Episode 110 opens up with the struggle still going on, the Spirit Bomb getting caught in the middle, and basically Goku getting swallowed up by it. Everybody's thinking, oh crap, he's dead. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet. But then again, it's been out for a week. Clips are all over YouTube. This thing was trending on Twitter. Somebody even made a joke this morning that, or at least earlier in the week on Facebook, I saw it, that, and I know it was like a fake thing, but it's still funny to think about if it's even true, that Goku's fight with Jiren broke the internet and got 10 times the views that the freaking Justice League trailer that dropped the same day got. And I say, if that's true, first off, congratulations, because Justice League sucked. I'm not a DC fan, and I never really will be. But back to the episode, 110, Goku gets swallowed up by the Spirit Bomb, and everybody's thinking, oh crap, he's dead. All the other warriors from the other universes are coming to converge on Jiren, like, okay, you took him down, we want a piece of you next. And just like that, Goku just comes back, brimming with power, brimming with confidence, and just starts mopping the floor with Jiren. He's basically, at this point, it looked like he was on the same level as Jiren. And while that's fine and good, I will admit that is fine and good, you could see that there was a difference in power yet between the two of them. So it's sad at the same time because it didn't end very well. Goku's energy, at least according to Whis, might have been from the Spirit Bomb, basically using its energy to replenish Goku's depleted power. However, Goku was giving off a tremendous amount of heat, which they could not figure out what that deal was with that. So, needless to say, his power runs out, and Goku gets thrown into a pillar by Jiren, who then gets attacked by Hit, and that's where we're going to be this week. It's Hit versus Jiren this time around. Funimation's just loving this by the minute, because they're having a live stream tonight on YouTube, dealing with it, at least like the pre-fight stuff. So that's kind of interesting. But the entirety of it is Jiren's... He's kicking ass and taking names. He's basically a god in himself. He's stronger than Universe 11's God of Destruction, apparently, because the God of Destruction's basically like, Jiren's going to own this. We're going to survive. He's going to become the next God of Destruction. I'm going to freaking retire. The hell with this crap. At least that's what it seems like. Bozo the Clown there wants to retire. But anyway, it was amazing. It did not disappoint. And what people kept referring to as Limit Breaker Goku is actually Ultra Instinct Goku. As that's what he seemed to have gotten. He got the form that Whis was describing during the Resurrection of F saga, both in the movie and in the series. I can safely say that because both have aired already here it's aired already in Japan. We've seen the movie Resurrection F, and we've seen the arc in Dragon Ball Super. It's had an English dub already. So, he basically was describing about how when you basically let your mind go and your body thinks for itself, every single part of your body thinks independently from itself. So, like, my hand would think independently. And the first to come to the massive bandwagon of this were a lot of these exercise people, martial artists. There's one YouTuber that does a lot of stuff and compares his weight training and stuff to Dragon Ball Z and the whole Dragon Ball saga, and he goes, it is 100% true. It's muscle memory. It's complete and total instinct. That's what it is. He goes, everybody does get it. Everybody has it. So I do kind of find that interesting that you can actually go through with it. You can actually have it happen to you. So that's kind of neat. But still, it's amazing that that's what happened with Goku. So it's Ultra Instinct Goku, and how the episode ended, Frieza was kind of getting ready to either attack Goku or help Goku. And that's pretty much where the episode ended. We're left on a cliff note. I'm really hoping they don't pull hey, we're not going to have it on this week. Unless there's like a major emergency in Japan that would prevent it. Please tell me they're not going to pull this. We're not going to have it this week. Because insert thing here. Because the fans, I guarantee you, will riot. Because you built up so high of a pedestal that you can still sit more stuff on top of it. And you gave us a trailer, not to mention a part of a thing that was really entertaining. We want to know what's going to happen next. This isn't okay, we don't want to know anymore. No. We still want to know what's going to happen. We want to know more now than we've ever wanted to know before. So, I loved it, first off. The 1 hour special was great. It was 2 episodes, 109 and 110. It did not disappoint. It was everything it was building up to be and more. If you get a chance to check it out, like on Crunchyroll or something, I highly, highly recommend you check it out. I would say you could skip to 110, but you have to watch 109 because it leads into 110, so you're not completely lost. But I highly recommend it. Seriously, it is just so wonderfully made. Yes, I know it's subbed, and there are people out there that have issues with the sub. I have issues with the sub. I'm not a fan of Goku's Japanese voice. Granted, she's very good. I will give her that. She does multiple characters. I just don't see it after being spoiled with the English dub for so many years. Both the Ocean and then Funimation dub for so many years. But I do recommend getting a chance to check it out. And I'm hoping this week's isn't going to disappoint either. But that was just beautiful. Really, really beautiful. I mean, whew, I was not disappointed at all. The wonderful world of the internet. What would people do without social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram? Well, for Facebook and Instagram users, you had to figure that out for yourself during the week. Because earlier in the week, in some parts of the United States, Europe, and Canada, users were unable to access their accounts on Wednesday, as the social media networks, the websites faced technical issues. Now, I was actually one of them because I tried logging on Wednesday and I wasn't able to get on. A photo illustration shows the application Facebook and Instagram on screens of iPhone and all that, with the basically saying that you cannot access it, we're down for maintenance, stuff like that. There was a photo, it never really came up, but it still was listed because I just copy and paste the articles and I discuss them. You know my style, but I'm just letting you know. So, this is how it was basically said. We're aware that some people are currently having trouble accessing Facebook and Instagram. We're working to get things back to normal as quickly as possible. A Facebook spokesperson told Reuters, which is where I got this article from, by the way. Earlier in the day, downdetector.com. Great site, by the way. I love that site. Whenever I have an issue, like with YouTube, eBay, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. Downdetector.com, first site I go to, which monitors outages, showed that there were over 12,000 incidents of people reporting issues with using the website. 50% of the people reported having trouble logging in, while 40% complained that they faced total blackout issues, and the remaining 10% faced problems with pictures and everything else. Down Detector was quoted saying on its website report. So, they never really said what caused it. I don't think they're ever going to say what caused it. I mean, let's face it, some technician at a server farm could have accidentally rolled over a cord with their chair and popped it out of the wall, and they might have had to quick replace the cord, for all we know. It was probably something really simple, and it just took an eternity and a half to fix it. And it was back up in like maybe 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes to an hour. When I tried logging on, it was like 11 something in the morning. Around 12 o'clock, it was back for me. So it's not exactly an entire love loss. It wasn't like it was out for the whole freaking day. I mean, I don't know how long it was out prior to that, but my mom was on it when I got home from work, so I'm guessing not long. Then again, she might have just been one of the many people that were able to actually get on. I don't know. But it's not too bad if you think about it. I mean, it could have been worse. Much, much worse. But still. And you have to realize in the era of technology that we live in now, you're going to have issues like this where a site's going to go down. I mean, I could wake up tomorrow morning and YouTube could be completely down for maintenance or down for the count, which would piss me off because I couldn't upload my podcast. But at the same time, I would understand it because it's the world we live in now. Things are constantly going to break down and sites are going to go down for certain amounts of time. I mean, it's a possibility. You know, everything happens for a reason. But like I said, it was probably just something really simple or really idiotic that caused it, and they're just not going to say what it was. At least I didn't see anything as to what caused it. I'm not really concerned about it. In all honesty, it's almost like the whole Szechuan sauce thing from McDonald's that happened earlier this week. That happened, I think it was this week or earlier last week. It doesn't bother me at all. You know, it's just one drop in the bucket of the grand scheme of things. But, you know, it is what it is. You know? You're listening to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. The only podcast where I can talk for an entire hour and nobody ever tells me to shut up. You people are out there, right? Alright. So who out there knows the actor that plays the Hulk in the newest Avengers movies? It's no longer Edward Norton, who did it in The Incredible Hulk, which, by the way, that was a good movie. Nope, it's Mark Ruffalo, who's also going to be in the newest Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. Well, Ruffalo kind of pulled a Hulk-sized mistake here. Yep. During the premiere of Thor Ragnarok, the star accidentally live-streamed a portion of the movie after forgetting to turn off his phone at the premiere. Yeah. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the star was introduced by a recording of Jeff Goldblum's character, the Grand Master. It's kind of nice they gave him a neat role in this. To spark excitement at the film's LA premiere at the El Capitan Theater. Never liked that name, by the way. As stars often do, Ruffalo wanted to record and live stream the applause from the audience, padding to his ever-growing ego on his Instagram account. However, because he forgot to put his ego in check, at least in my opinion anyway, he neglected to end the live stream before slipping his mobile phone back into his pocket. As a result, some 2,500 fans of his were able to hear the audio of Thor Ragnarok, in which he reprises his role as Bruce Banner, a.k.a. the Hulk, about 3 weeks prior to its official release. See, that's always something that bothers me. You have these fans and the actors that can go see a movie weeks before it ever comes out for the general public. Celebrities, in my opinion, this is what always annoys me about them. They're put on a higher pedestal than everybody else. I can't even throw myself on that same pedestal. I'm an amateur. I do this stuff on YouTube. I'm an amateur. I'm not out there making hundreds upon thousands of dollars or hundreds upon millions for box offices by being a guy with a massive anger issue that makes me turn green. But that whole recording yourself, or recording the, recording the applause and everything else from the audience, every time an actor does that, I swear they're just patting their own ego. They're thinking, you know what? I'm a big star. I'm a great person. I'm going to make this picture studio millions with this. I hope your ego and you can get in and out of the doorway. Seriously. Fans reported that the star finally realized his mistake around 8 p.m. Pacific time before any real damage was done. You were able to hear audio from a movie which isn't supposed to come out for 3 weeks. You then found out that the person doing it was one of the stars, and then said, yeah, there's no real damage done. Okay, sure. No real damage done. I guess you could just consider that like a clip, like everybody sees on the talk shows and on YouTube and basically the trailers. Yeah, okay, no real damage is done there. However, thanks to the wonderful world of the internet, many on Twitter captured the conversation during the moments in question. And keep in mind, this was on his Instagram, too, that they did this. But they captured stuff on Twitter as well. Dun, dun, dun! While some simply laughed at the absurdity of what was happening, others balked at the idea of having a movie spoiled for them. Some even went as far as to brainstorm ideas on how to inform Ruffalo of his flub. Simple thing would have been having somebody that has his number call him. And when he picks up the phone, "Hi, what's up?" "You got the damn thing on, genius! You're live streaming the movie! Shut it off before they throw you in jail!" Or even give you a freaking fine. Ugh. But still, okay, so he kind of spoiled the movie for you. Here's the big thing of it. Thor loses his hammer, gets 2 butter knives, cuts his hair, Hulk's in the movie. I'm guessing it has nothing to do with the MCU. Who cares at that point? Look, it's just a padded Thor movie. Unless it's going to have some type of effect on the entirety of the MCU and the Avengers Infinity War movie that's coming out, which the only thing I could see is that, okay, he found the Hulk. That's about the only thing I could see that would have an effect on the MCU at this point. But look, that's what we're up with. Who cares if he ruins some of the movie for you? I guarantee you, day one, people are going to be ruining that movie for you. Suck it up! Yes, I would hate to have a movie ruined too. Here's the thing. We live in the technology age. I've been saying that most of this podcast. People are going to ruin the movie for you. Without even trying, they can ruin a movie. Trust me. But anyway, so that's what happened with that. I still think it's hilarious. He just couldn't keep his ego in check. Well, maybe that'll teach you, Ruffalo. You ain't Tony Stark. And you made a Hulk-sized mistake. I can just see the big green guy just shaking his head. I agree with him. As Homer Simpson would say, "Don't!" Alright, speaking of Thor Ragnarok. Oh boy. You know its director wants to cast Asian actors only for the live-action Akira movie if he is selected to be its director. There's so much I want to say about that, but let's get into the article first, and I will keep my forked tongue behind my teeth for now. If Thor Ragnarok director Taika Waititi, I don't even care if I mispronounce it. That is the stupidest name I've ever heard. Take Waititi. Yeah, okay. If he were to helm the live-action Akira film, which first off, no. Not on him directing it. No to a live-action Akira. He would cast Asian actors in the main roles. At least that's what he told IGN in an interview published by the site earlier this week. In the interview, Waka Waka here was very coy about whether he would take the directorial position, but did confirm there's been some chats and that it's a project he is passionate about. Why don't you be passionate about your own damn movie that's coming out? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Ruffalo already ruined some of it. Never mind! Regarding the actors he would cast, IGN quoted Waka Waka here. I'm not going to pronounce it again, so I'm just going to call him Waka Waka. Waka Waka, Walla Walla, I don't care. It's Walla something or other. It quoted Waki Hookie here as saying Asian teenagers would be the way to do it for me, and probably no, not like No Name. I mean, sort of unfound, untapped talent. Wait. What? Wait a minute. So you mean you're just going to abduct Asian teenagers off the streets of Tokyo and say, want to be in a movie? I think there's a problem there. That's like Pedo Bear here. Whoa. I'm seeing bad signs coming. No. God. Oh, God, this is wrong. The director also mentioned that rather than remake the 1988 film, his version of Akira would adapt the original 6-volume manga. Okay. I'm just going to say this here. Granted, it didn't adapt it to a T, but the 1988 film was based on the 6-volume manga, you moron! They cut certain things out because they had to squeeze it into the time allotted. What are you smoking? With films like Ghost in the Shell and Death Note being criticized for whitewashing, the practice of casting Caucasian actors in Asian roles. Here's the concept. Akira is basically Neo-Tokyo after the Third World War. That's what the premise of the movie is. That's what the premise of the manga is. At least the last time I checked it, that's what the premise was. But no, good old Walla Walla here wants to up and just only have certain ethnicities in it. Oh, that's great. And in a city where you could actually get away, and in a movie where you could actually get away with having different roles, different races, different ethnicities, you want to stick with one because Hollywood's done nothing but whitewash. It's not so much the fact that they're whitewashing, they're going by what people think is good and who fits the part. On top of that, whoever's popular at the time. They want asses in the seats, moron. They don't want you to just up and go, oh, I only want these people in my movie. That would be, you're basically bringing segregation back. Only having it in film form. What the hell is wrong with you, Walla Walla? I can't even pronounce it. It's like, why? It's W-A-I-T-I-T-I. For those of you thinking that I'm screwing with you, I cannot pronounce it. W-A-I-T-I-T-I. So it's like Y-I-T-T. That's why I'm calling him Waka Waka, Walla Walla, Wabba Wabba, whatever the hell he wants to call himself. So if Walla Walla or Waki Waki here gets his way, fans will have to wait for the film to hit the screens, as the director is next lined up to direct a World War II dramedy called Jojo Rabbit. I'm not kidding. He is doing a dramedy, which is a drama comedy, World War II, called Jojo. What the hell? First off, if if I'm going to see a movie that's based on World War II, you're not thinking comedy. You're thinking, okay, there's going to be like some minor jokes here and there that'll fit the tone of the movie or that'll be there to break up the tension. Dramedy? Are you serious? Jojo Rabbit? What the hell? What are these studio heads smoking out there? Whatever it is, put it down, step away from whatever you're using to come up with this stuff, go to the mirror and take a good look at yourselves, because I think you're screwed up somewhere on the road of life. Oh, my head hurts from this. So, what does Waka Waka here is... Seriously, what the hell is he thinking? I only want Asians for my roles. I'm going to direct a World War II dramedy called Jojo Rabbit. I suddenly feel the collective force of thousands of people screaming in unison at the premiere of this. I'm going with if here. If Akira gets the live action go ahead, God knows I'd like it to never see the light of day. Though, like I said, it's basically a science fiction thing. It could work. Some science fiction live action adaptations could work. Some, depending on how you do it. But you're taking a name that is synonymous with otaku and otaku, and you're taking that and you're going to be reverse whitewashing it because I only want Asians in my roles. I'm speechless. Honestly, I'm speechless. How do you manage to go through life with this? Seriously? Oh. But good old Waka Waka there. Oh, God. Your career's going to go the same way as M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong. Oh. Jojo Rabbit. What? Have you no dignity, man? God! Ah! The Absolutely Completely Random Podcast will be right back. Right after I make a Dr. Pepper run. And a few other runs. Hey, I'm human. Andrew. Andrew. Hey, what better way to spend a Sunday, right? My name's Andrew Rhodes. I'm the host of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, where I talk about anime, movies, manga, technology, video games, any of those topics, from articles that I find throughout the week. New episodes of my podcast are uploaded here on YouTube every Sunday, so come check me out. You never know, you might learn something new. And hey, I always like making a new friend. Alrighty. If you're a fan of Japanese stuff, chances are you fall under the category of an otaku or an otaku, however you want to pronounce it. Personally, as far as I'm concerned, it's potato. I know people get pissed off when you pronounce, manga. Believe me, I got an earful about that in high school. But I consider it otaku. There are people that call it otaku. The hell with it. As far as I'm concerned, it's either or. Because you can pronounce it long A or short A, I don't care. But anyway, Japanese fans have been discussing the pros and cons of having otaku parents. Or otaku parents. Yes. Believe it or not, it actually would be a good thing to a point. But let's go through what they say some of the things are. So, what are some of the pros of having otaku parents or otaku parents? Well, the good things about having them are you don't have to hide your own otaku or otaku merchandise. They'll never throw your stuff, your otaku or otaku stuff out when you're not home. And if you feel like it, you can try to get them into a series you're following. Good luck with that, though, if your parents are really old. The difficult thing when having the parents who are otaku, when your mom, who's in her 50s, starts singing bath time, bath time, bath time, and imitating the voice of a certain magical index female lead. Wow. That's just embarrassing on a whole nother scale. But it's hard to imagine for those of us whose nerdy hobbies went misunderstood by the rest of the family. Yes, we've all been there. But if Japanese Twitter is any indication, more and more kids are growing up with parents who enjoy anime and video games. Despite concerns that birth rates in Japan are declining, yes, and they're blaming anime for that yet to this day. Thank you, by the way, again, BBC. More anime lovers than ever are becoming adults and having children. It's the circle of life. Last week, user at XAMETHYX, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Hell, I couldn't even get Waka, whatever his name was, started a conversation on the pros and cons of being raised by Otaku. Yeah. Commenters replied with many pros and cons of their own. Here are some of their highlights, by the way. It's painful to hear my dad imitate 15-year-old Hagurashi schoolgirl Renee Ryogu. For my 20th birthday, the start of legal adulthood in Japan, Seriously? God damn. You have my sympathy. In the U.S., it starts at 18. My parents bought me a copy of the Nitro Plus porno game. Oh, God. Wait. Okay, so wait a minute. Unless they bought that for you online, I think that was more embarrassing for them than it was for you. Yes, I can just see. Oh, God, I'm going to die laughing. I can see that being a really great birthday. Here's your present. You open up the wrapping paper and inside of it's a porno game. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Okay. Like I said, unless they bought that for you online, I think that was more embarrassing for them than it was for you. That's almost as bad as somebody going and buying somebody else a dildo or something here in the U.S. Oh, God. It's like, yeah, here's your happy birthday. Happy birthday, you get a bag from Spencer's. Oh, give me a minute. Oh, it's not fun to laugh when you have a cough. Oh. First off, that wins. That wins for the best. That wins for the best reply, I think, in the history of replies for the year. That wins. That wins. You got first place. You have gotten first place. Whoever replied to that, whatever commenter, if you're able to hear my podcast and you're listening, whoever commented to that, you first off, I have pity for on two different levels. One, because you got to wait 2 extra years longer than I did to be a legal adult. Second, your parents bought you a porno game. You win for the best reply I have ever read in my life to date. You win. First prize to you. You have bragging rights for the next several decades for this alone. This would buy you sympathy. You're a legal adult. Can you drink? If you can legally drink, someone should buy you a beer or something. My God. Oh. Okay, let's move. Let's keep going with the comments because I can't. That was beautiful. Another reply was, my mom in her 50s wants to keep the fact that she's an otaku on the down low. So she sends me to the store to buy stuff from Handsome Man Dating Simulator Maker Otomete, which is kind of embarrassing. Yeah, that would be kind of embarrassing. However, you got nothing on the kid getting the Nitro Plus porno game. Hello world for his 20th birthday. Or sorry, it could be theirs, I don't know. It could be male or female, I don't know. Oh God, I'm never gonna stop. That's gonna keep me going for years on end. I thank you for that. On days when I am having a horrible day, I mean, the life is just kicking me in the balls, I will think about you with this comment alone, and I will laugh to cheer myself up. Oh my God. I can't. I don't mean to laugh at your misfortune. That is just hilarious as hell. Another reply was, when my parents and I go to sing karaoke together, it's pretty much an anime song music festival. That I wouldn't mind. I actually like singing anime songs. Another comment was, I'm glad that my mom and I have anime as a common interest, but I wish she'd stop trying to turn me, her own son, into a boys' love fan. Oh! God! They're getting worse! It's still not gonna beat the one that gets the porno game for their 20th birthday. Hey, nothing's gonna beat that. I'm sorry. Nothing's beating that. Nothing's beating that. Not a damn thing. The last reply on here, thank God it's the last reply, because I don't think I'd be able to handle it for you. I don't think I'd be able to handle it anymore. I can barely handle these. I'm starting to lose my mind. Sometimes when my parents are out and they spot a figure of a character I like, they'll call me on the phone and say something like, your wife is on sale for just 500 yen. You want us to pick her up for you? Alright, that's number 2. That's number 2. Nothing's beating that porno game. I'm sorry. Nothing's beating getting that on your birthday. That's a really great birthday present. Happy birthday. You open it up. And it's, I'm sorry. It's going to keep me going for a while. Oh, but your wife is on sale for just 500 yen. Which is $4.50 about. They have it in parentheses. You want us to pick her up for you? So yeah. The overall feeling seems to be that despite some of the annoying snags, it's nice to have parents that understand your hobby instead of seeing it as some kind of perverted obsession that keeps you locked in your bedroom all night, possibly spanking into 2D-dimensional girls. And guys, if you go that way, I don't know. Given that many kids of the Western anime boom of the 90s have now hit marriage age, really? I didn't know 28 was a marriage age. There must be plenty of American kids out there now with otaku parents. Are your parents into anime? Oh, oh God! Well, I hope we're not going to see a string of 18-year-olds getting porno games here in the U.S. for their birthdays. Oh God! I mean, I can just see somebody going down Chinatown or in a shop that sells anime stuff and go. Also, it's like, hold on a second, I gotta call them. Hold on. Hi, hey, I'm at that Otaku store. Hey, your wife's on sale. You want me to pick her up? She's really cheap. Well, I'd like to think. First of all, I gotta think this person. Hold on. As this was Otaku USA that brought the article to my attention, but I would like to thank the Twitter user at XAMETHYX. You have now brightened my year. Hell, you have probably brightened the next 6 years of my life. I will look back on this and laugh hysterically. You personally have earned my respect for creating this. And whoever got that for their 20th birthday, you have my sympathy. Please know I am laughing at this in a cosmic sort of way. But oh God! It's just so... Oh! I can't. That's just hilarious. Oh, good Lord. That's just funny. Oh, I think we all needed that good laugh. But, so if you have parents that are otakus, I can see it being a good and a bad thing. My mom is not an otaku. She likes one Pokemon, and she knows that I'm into anime. She is not pissed off. I doubt highly she would be mad if I came home with a body pillow of an anime character. She might give me some weird looks, think I'm going to be doing something strange, but I doubt highly she would care that much to be concerned. I'm 28 years old. At this point in my life, it's pretty much, look, I'm rounded 30 in 2 years. Are you really going to question whether or not I'm actually inclined to make a good decision or a bad decision? It's like, eh. Oh, God. That is hilarious. I'm never going to forget this topic for as long as I live. I swear I will never forget this topic. This was too good. So who out there remembers when I was talking about that Megabots battle with the US-based Megabots is going to be taking on the Kuritas's robot in a battle to the death? Well, guess what? The skirmish is set for October 17th, and it's going to stream on their Twitch channels and will eventually be put on other ones. Now, the article itself said it was going to air on YouTube. Unless somebody puts it up there moderately afterwards, I don't think it's going to stream on YouTube. But China now has a dog, or a monkey, actually, I should say, in the fight. But after the 2-month delay, the battle is finally going to be happening this coming Tuesday. Hallelujah, finally. Megabots creator Matt O'Hearlin and Guy Cavalcanti, I know I mispronounced both your names, I apologize, completed a successful Kickstarter campaign to create what has become Eagle Prime. I'm hoping it has the Matrix of Leadership, because that's the only way you can be a Prime. The company tapped experts from Mythbusters. Which ones? The build team, or did you actually get Adam Savage on there? X-Prize, BattleBots, IHMC Robotics, NASA, and Howl and Howl. I wonder which one they got, Howl or Howl. Technologies to get their prototype into fighting shape. The battle between Kuritas and Eagle Prime likely won't be the last giant robot battle. Oh, I certainly hope not. This looks kind of... They've been building up to this for so freaking long now, it isn't funny anymore. Megabots hoped to usher in a giant robot fighting league, and China's Great Metal is lining up with its own contender, the Monkey King. The robot was first shown in a video on Megabots' YouTube channel in April, and the two creators said... I kind of lost my place here, so hold on. Okay, they said the Chinese challenger would take on the winner of the Kuritas versus Megabots battle if it is ready in time. I honestly think if we shrink these things down a little bit, we could actually have BattleBots and, the giant robot, just not as massive as they are. We could, improve BattleBots with something like this. But, honestly, I would actually like to get in on this. I mean, I even want to get in on this. I mean, can I pilot one of them? Something? Saikwan's son is the lead roboticist behind Monkey King's development, and I do apologize if I mispronounced your name. The robot is shown to be both quadrupedal and bipedal, and able to wield a staff-like weapon. Woo! So you basically made Goku from the Chinese mythology series Journey to the West. In robot form. Cool! Sun previously made a 30-foot-tall Transformer for Paramount Movies. The Monkey King prototype was on display in Beijing earlier this year. So, Megabots and Kuritas are finally going to be putting their money where their mouth is this coming week. I will look for the fight so that I can watch it, so I can talk about it. That sounds really interesting. God knows it's interesting. It sounds interesting. I want to see the fight. So, Giant Robot Fighting League. I'm for it. Can I pilot one of them? I'd like to be a pilot, please. I think that would be really, really cool. We could have that to settle our differences. Screw war. We're going to have the Giant Robot Fighting League. That'll be cool. All right, we have a pilot from the U.S. and the pilot from China. Let's get it on. You can have Mr. Referee from Megabots. I am Mr. Referee. That is me, Mr. Referee. The U.S. robot versus the Chinese robot. Robots, battle it out. That would be pretty freaking cool. So they're finally going to be putting their money where their mouth is. I honestly didn't think this was ever going to happen. But finally, October 17th, it will be streaming it online on their Twitch. It was supposed to be... the article did say YouTube, but somebody in the comments did put down that it's going to be on their Twitch channel. Personally, I kind of think they're probably going to put it up on their YouTube thing then later on in the week, so I will try my damnedest to find a way to watch this. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know who's going to win this. This sounds way too interesting to just leave sitting on the sidelines of who won. This sounds really cool. Like, really, really cool. But anyway, that's that on that. I'm looking forward to it. Come on, Giant Robot Fighting League! Alrighty, that's pretty much going to do it this week for the Absolutely Completely Random podcast. I'm out of topics. I'm coughing really badly, courtesy of that article making me laugh so hard. I know laughter's the best medicine. Patch Adams said that, but... wow, I was not expecting that. But anyway, looking forward to next week. I do have to work next Saturday morning, so as of right now, since I usually try to have all my articles and that done by Thursday, on the off chance that I might have to work Saturday mornings, I will try my damnedest to have everything all set ready to go, possibly record this a day early, but it'll still be for next week anyway. It won't go up till Sunday, so there is that. Just wanted to let everybody know in case I end up doing that and something happens like Saturday that, updates the topic or something. That's my running possibility, because my mom and I got invited by a friend of ours to come up to a Halloween party, which we said we would try to make it to. We weren't making any promises. So there is that, but anyway, that's what my next week's looking at. But as always, let's end the podcast like we usually do. You know how it goes. If you have any topics or things you'd like me to discuss, send them to send them to ACR. Yeah, I apologize about that. Send them to acrpodcast@gmail.com or tweet them to me at Otaku Roads on Twitter. I have not gotten a chance to check the podcast email this week because I had some issues getting Google to load. I will get a chance to actually check on it. So if you did send a topic there and I didn't talk about it this week, I do apologize. I had not gotten a chance to check that email. I had a heck of a time getting mine to load up most of the week, and I found out it was a simple issue of I screwed something up with at the time it was my tablet, trying to access it, and then I found out it was with my laptop instead. So I had to log out of one to fix it. So I do apologize. I didn't get a chance to check that this week. But you can send me an email, ACR podcast, all lowercase, no space, at gmail.com. So ACR and then podcast at gmail.com. Or you can tweet them to me at Otaku Roads on Twitter, or you can just use the hashtag that I set up on there a while ago, ACR Podcast Topics, or ACR Podcast, if you want to just talk about me. But other than that, if you have any ideas on ways that can improve the podcast, feel free to let me know and either email or tweet or tweet it to me, or you can even do it in my discussion page on my YouTube channel. Yes, I did set one of those up. Haha. I fixed it back. I did enable that so you can actually discuss topics on there, and I can talk with you off of the regular podcast. So that's actually kind of cool. Though I don't mind getting comments on my podcast, it actually proves that I'm getting views and people are at least watching it. So it proves I'm not wasting my time and wasting my breath. So until next week, this is Andrew Rhodes signing off for another fun-filled adventure here on the absolutely, completely random podcast. Bye, everybody!